Much of academia's persuasion is based upon language, as it can change thought. Pay close attention to political correctness, as this form of bullying is both mentally oppressive as well as a leading feature of cultural Marxism. This politically correct language is designed to shut down free speech, fragment society, and aid in obedience. You see, most will comply once their emotional thinking is controlled. A case in point is radical feminism. If you truthfully mention that certain tribes are getting preferential treatment, you are immediately branded a misogynist. I have a vagina, so I have special rights, even though I loudly promote equality. You see, constantly amplifying perceived injustices, even when there is not one shred of evidence, still has their contorted thinking claiming victim status. Zebidiah transfers knowledge. Criminy, you are 51% of the population. Your shit cannot stand up to scrutiny, so allow me to hit you over the head with a clue by 4. I realize that you graduated with a women's studies degree with a minor in victimology, and therefore have no concept of history, science, nor the ability to identify the better choice. But there is no glass ceiling. Raw emotional reflexes are no match for the capacity to reason. So try thinking for a change. It's a wondrous process that will greatly improve your life. Zeb continues his lessons on how the real world works. Little can help those with mentally deficient fuzzy thinking, but with my succinct and astute observations, I'll try. The real world runs on productivity, intelligence, and merit. Oh, morality is of high importance as well because civilization works as long as its citizens are civilized. Also keep in mind that your pursuit of happiness will be further impeded if you do not radically abandon that victimology angst. Insane is when you argue with reality. Take a look at this cultural reality. All of these countries have had women as president or prime minister or chancellor. Yep, gotta feel sorry for these poor, downtrodden women that many professors of women's studies and genders conveniently omit within their grievance curriculum. Aiding and abetting students while omitting the above subsequent history is not exactly a recipe for social cooperation and harmony. You see, guiding young people to seek opportunistic, professional victim status is nothing but pulling the strings that fan hatred. These half-truths foment social and moral decay, which in turn diminishes civic participation and unity. This is a lazy yet effective method of intimidation to accuse innocent people of misogyny, yet we always pay for their dishonesty. Zeb's cousin, Barry Funkbutter, experienced this parasitical infestation firsthand. I had worked for the U.S. Forestry Department as a firefighter for 17 years. I enjoyed it. I worked very hard at it and successfully earned several merit-based promotions. Then the Civil Rights Act of 1991 entered the equation, along with more rank dishonesty from the grievance industry. In a triumph of superstition over reason, 2 entry-level female firefighters were inserted. One at my experience level, and one was actually promoted above me. Now, if you have basic reasoning skills and are not immune to reality, you might consider this unfair. The elite pinheads, on the other hand, tend to accept the theoretical at the expense of the practical. But real life doesn't play out in such a tidy fashion. Look, the truth is hard to argue against. They knew nothing about fire science, nor had any wildland fire suppression expertise, nor were strong enough to carry the hoses. They did, however, have vaginas. The fire station was now sectioned off 50-50. The 2 women received half, and the 11 firemen shared half. This left detrimental lifelong effects on Barry. He became an angry, bitter man due to this discrimination as it curtailed upward mobility in his profession. His tolerance for incompetence and unfairness waned, thinking, hey, either we're equal or we're not, but do not change the goalposts in the middle of my career. This is how I feed my family. But do not forget who the real enemy is. The ruling class is ultimately the root cause of this dishonorable condition of employment. Barry Funkbutter was merely a side effect of their morally degenerate policies. Are there any upsides to this unicorn logic? You betcha. Damn, Lakeisha be hot. Zebidiah abruptly concludes this chapter. Thinking requires effort. Reading what experts say and repeating it like parrots does not. If you are okay with what happened to my cousin Barry, perhaps you need to check your brain. It may be stuck on stupid. My hope is that you can glean wisdom from these now transparent truths so that future attempts at obscuring reality become ludicrous. You see, when we cater to every little tribal group that declares themselves victims, we end up treading on someone else. Like Barry said, either we are equal or we're not. This is why I rant. Ridicule is a potent weapon, and pointing out that their unicorn logic is magical only in a make-believe world ought to be uncovered, pointed at, and trumpeted loud and clear.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Thank you, everybody. I say right on.